The Writer's Store featured a great Q&A with documentarian Peter Hansen, I believe. He did Tales from the Script.
Mm-hmm.
And one of his points in the Q&A was, don't underestimate the value of cynicism when it comes to building your career. So in keeping with that for your screenwriting career, how do you balance the two so that you're not too overconfident and also too pessimistic so that it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy?
That's a great question. And actually, I'm going to steal part of my answer from someone. I can't remember who told me this, but in my opinion, and what they had to say is that screenwriting is quite oftentimes very challenging and very difficult on a daily basis. So you have these waves of these peaks of megalomania where you write 20 pages in a day and you think you're an incredible writer and you think you're unstoppable. And then you have these other days or weeks where you don't write a word, or you don't write a page, or you don't get anything done. And you really reach these valleys of self-loathing. So I don't feel like there's really an in-between. There's no real middle ground. I think you are mainly in the trenches. Most of the time you are dealing with self-doubt, in my opinion, as a writer. And dealing with the hardships that come along with trying to create, whether it's a feature film or a novel or a television pilot or project. So I think, sure, maybe some writers out there are optimistic about their ideas and what the story that they want to tell, but I think the overall psychology and mentality of a writer, from my opinion, and from my experience, is that of someone who is constantly dealing with challenges on a daily basis. And so for me, I don't know that I would say I'm optimistic. I'm very excited about what I'm writing most of the time. But that's on the surface of things. I think when you dig deeper, we are self-loathing individuals. We have issues with self-deprecation, and I think for me that's usually where I'm at. So,
do you know when you're on that scale? When you're like, just wow, these ideas are flowing through me, and you're just like typing away? Is there like something in you that says, wow, I'm up there in terms of like confidence, and should I be careful, or how should I utilize this? And then the same when you get to sort of the self-hating.
I mean, I think I remember, I could probably count on one hand the amount of times that I've had a stretch of writing where I feel like I don't know where it's coming from. It's just so fantastic, and I'm very excited about it, and it just flows out of me. I think literally December of 2009 was one of those times for me. Maybe 2-3 months ago, when I was working on my most recent project, I had 3 incredible weeks of writing. So those are few and far between. I think really it's those other moments where you are in the valley of self-loathing that are there, just because it's so difficult to complete a story. I mean, if you're lucky, you're getting 3 pages a day on a script, that you're writing. At least that's how I work. So, in trying to answer your question, I guess that, like I said before, there is no real middle ground for me. So I try to just dig myself out of those trenches and write the best product that I possibly can. And, I think the thing is, a lot of independent filmmakers and writers have to, especially, for the new normal, have to write on spec on a daily basis. So if you write for 3 weeks and it's potentially not going to be anything that you can use, that's 3 weeks of your hard-earned time and effort, and you have to account for finances and everything as well. So it can just be draining on you, Whereas I think that when you get into a situation where you have a first look deal with a studio or a production company, or you have someone who is optioned the script and is developing it with you, and you can start writing and be financially comfortable, I think then it's more of whether or not you can be creative on a daily basis, but at least you can put aside the fact that you know you have the income to be comfortable to be writing. So.